Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to talk about the potential of Grey Knights and Primaris Marines. So this is all taken from the latest book by Guy Haler. It's called Belisarius Cawl, The Great Work, so it will be filled full of spoilers. So let's jump in and let's get started. So as I just mentioned, this video will contain spoilers. Please, 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 I beg you, if you haven't read the book, stop the video right here because I don't want to ruin it for you. Of course, I'm not going to go through the full details of the whole novel. I'm just going to pick out certain aspects of this character that got me very, very interested in thinking, could this be the next potential direction for the Primaris Marine? So again, please, if you haven't read the book, stop it here because you will be spoiled. So in this novel, there is a character called Alpha Primus, and he serves Cawl. He only serves Cawl. He's basically Cawl's, I won't say second in command, but he's Cawl's bodyguard, let's say. And he is a Primaris Marine. Now, you're probably thinking, what's so odd about that? Cawl has a bodyguard Primaris Marine. Well, this Primaris Marine is one of the first. I would argue if that maybe he is the first ever Primaris Marine that was ever created by Cawl. But in that, when Cawl created him, he went too close to the sun. Let's use that metaphor for now, where he tried to make this guy bigger, better, and stronger. And in doing that, he failed, and now this character, this Alpha Primaris, suffers for Cawl's failings. He's in constant pain, he has nightmares and stuff like that. Now, this character was designed to be bigger, better, faster than what we have now for the Primaris Marines. As I mentioned, there's some defects to that. But one of the things he has, which really, really interested me, is that he has psychic powers. Now, you'd think, okay, another Marine with psychers, there's nothing really different about that, but this guy seems to be like a psyker, like just loaded up on something else. Like he's basically he can levitate himself. He like clenched. There's like this moment in the book where there's like a little ravine, and he basically clenched his fist. He levitated himself and he moved it across. And there was another Primaris character who I won't name because, you know, I don't want to ruin the story at this moment in time. That video will come sooner or later. And he raised this character up with his fist as well, and he basically brought him over. And when there was another psyker in the party, said, you know, what are your limitations? Can you basically, you know, float all your way down to the bottom if you want? He's like, yeah, I can do that. This guy is just emitting sheer raw power and energy, and it's all Cawl's doing. Now, one of the interesting things about this novel, and something that we learn in the novel, is that when Rabuti commissioned Cawl to carry on the Emperor's doings to make, you know, better Space Marines, he basically gave him the entire works what the Emperor had. He's like, here you go, I hand it over to you. Show me what you can do. And in the meantime, of course, Gilman got put in stasis. So Gilman couldn't really keep track of what Cawl was doing. So it was hinted at in the book that Cawl was doing a lot of experiments. The Marines themselves talked about, has Cawl been using the genetics from some of the traitor legions, maybe? Could Gilman really enforce it if Cawl decided to do that kind of thing? The thing it made out with Cawl and the book is that Cawl's his own person. Cawl doesn't follow the direction of Rabuti. Even though Rabuti is the Lord Commander, Cawl basically follows the teachings of the machine, the God Machine, basically the Emperor. He's doing this for humanity. He's not doing it for a Primarch. He's doing it for the survival of humanity. So he's got to make the best decisions for that survival for humanity. So when Gilman came out of stasis and he saw basically this Alpha Primaris, Gilman wasn't best pleased, but he didn't really scold Cawl or, you know, demand it to be executed or anything like that. He was like, right, let's get this back on the track and let's get this sorted. But this character Alpha Primaris himself is, I actually really, really liked him. He's very quiet. He keeps himself to himself. I think he's probably lonely being the only one of you. Even though he's a Primaris Marine, he's the only one like that when it comes to Primaris Marines. Like, there was a scene in the book where like these repulsor tanks were blocked by stones in the road, and like all the other Marines were like, you know, 2 or 3 lifting stones up and slinging them, and he just gets out and he's like lifting them on his own and just slinging them, like, you know, just down the cliff and stuff, and all the other Marines are just looking at him like, how strong is this guy? That's how strong this character is, you know. 3 Marines lifting things has to be heavy. When 1 Marine comes out and starts henching it up, you know, this guy is definitely stronger, and he is, you know, he is not to be messed with. Now, while I was listening to this on audiobook, there was one thing that kept going through my mind when this character popped up, whenever he popped up in the book, is that I'm wondering if this was Cawl's attempt at maybe trying to get in with the Grey Knights, kind of like maybe do their gene seed and mix it in with the Primaris, because, you know, with the whole psychic side of it, because that's one thing that we haven't really seen in the 40k universe, is that, of course, the Primaris have come in, they're basically at the forefront of the battle now. I would personally say some of the chapters that were about to be wiped out, like the Scythes of the Emperor in this book, have embraced the Primaris, and they're basically like the new generation. Let's say they're the new recruits, they're the ones that's going to be taking over. And we haven't really seen that with stuff like the Grey Knights. Now, a lot of people have been asking, you know, are Grey Knights ever going to get the Primaris treatment? Do they need the Primaris treatment? Should they get the Primaris treatment? Now, on the official front from GW, we've heard nothing about this at all. But I personally think it will have to happen soon enough, right? Because everyone else is getting it. What's to stop the Grey Knights from getting that treatment as well? Now, of course, that is just my side of seeing it. From what I've been reading offline, and I'm sure a lot of people are thinking, could this be possibly a new direction, or the direction that Cawl wanted the Primaris to go in, to be these kind of like full-on Psycho Marines, mass strength, faster, smarter, and stuff like that? Is Cawl secretly making his own loyalist force of Primaris, maybe somewhere hidden? One of the things it does mention in this book is that this Alpha Primaris is 100% loyal to Cawl. Like one of the Marines said a statement that if he was to force his way over to Cawl, that the Alpha Primaris would stand in his way and block him, and, you know, trouble would arise, let's say. So Cawl has really got the loyalness of this Marine. Now, what's to stop that from happening again? Now, the fact is that this Alpha Primaris has been around a long time. Like the main character in the book, again, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to spoil it and stuff, mentions that when he was being made into a Primaris Marine, that he recalls this guy. He remembers seeing him now and then. And of course, that was a 10,000 year process of becoming, you know, a Primaris Marine. You know, they were basically in stasis, and they were woken up at certain different points to receive new upgrades and, you know, gene enhancements and stuff like that to make them the Marines they are today. That process of trial and error and stuff like that. So this guy is very, very old, so he has a lot of wisdom, and of course you can argue that his connection with Cawl is down to his bonding with Cawl and his friendship, not really implanted to be loyal, let's say. Let's just agree that Belisarius Cawl did attempt to make a Primaris Grey Knight. Is that something that people would actually like? Do you think the Grey Knights deserve to get the Primaris treatment, or do you think they're good as they are? We all know the Grey Knights themselves stand separate from the Adeptus Astartes. Even though they are Space Marines, they are something more evolved than Space Marines. The whole rumour is that the Grey Knights are made from the Emperor's gene seed itself. That's what gives them their psychic potential and stuff like that. So if Cawl went down that road and he tried to make a Primaris Grey Knight, or he's going to make a Primaris Grey Knight, this of course, this is just his first test subject, let's say. He failed, he's probably learned from his mistakes, and he wants to go and correct that and make this. For the argument, could he do that? I would argue yes, he could, because in this novel it definitely states that Cawl has a lot of information. He has a lot of brains about him, let's say. He's gathered a lot of information throughout his years of service to mankind and the Emperor, and he's definitely someone who knows what he is doing when it comes to gene enhancements and technology and stuff like that. Cawl is very, very smart. I don't think anyone is going to argue against that. I'm sure people argue like, oh, he's a Mary Sue, he came out of nowhere and stuff like this. Yeah, that happens with, like, you know, all the characters in all the books. They're always the star of the, you know, their stuff, and they don't have that many faults and stuff, and they always know it all. But that's just something that I think we just have to accept now. This is the new direction where the lore is going to, and I personally think Cawl will be successful if they ever came to make Primaris Grey Knights. But of course, the main argument is that what people want? Do you think the Grey Knights deserve the Primaris treatment? Do you think they should go down that route and they should receive it? Alright, Chaperonios, so that is me done for another video. If you haven't read it yet, Belisarius Cawl, The Great Work by Guy Haler. It's out on audiobook, it's out on ebook, and I think it's out in like novel format as well. Seriously, one of the best books I've listened to audiobook. I won't say read because I didn't read it, I listened to it on my audiobook. Absolutely fantastic, absolutely loved it. There's so many awesome things in there. If you're the size of the Emperor fan, you'll love this. It takes place on a certain side of the Emperor homeworld, which got demolished by Tyranids. A lot of stuff around it. Again, won't spoil it. Amazing, amazing, amazing book. Gives us a massive insight to Belisarius Cawl, and with like the characters like Alpha Primaris popping up, it really made me go, wait, what? Wait, who? Who's this guy? Wait, what? This is amazing. So yeah, make sure you go and check it out. It really is awesome. Right, that's enough from me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comment section below. Do you think Primaris Grey Knights will be a thing, or do you think that they'll just keep them the same and they'll just keep what they're doing, just normal Adeptus Astartes, and they'll just upgrade the models in that kind of way? Right, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. It's been cool. It's been fun. See you now, and bye bye.